Hello, how are you? Fantastic! My name's Pete Hooker and I'm going to talk to you for 10 minutes about catching waves. This podcast will briefly cover the correct body position on the board, going from prone to standing positions, and safety during a fall or dismount. Body positioning on the board. When paddling for a wave, it is important that your body weight is positioned correctly on the board. Too much body weight towards the front of the board and you're going to dive the nose when paddling for the wave. This will result in an unsuccessful attempt at catching the wave. In this picture, the body weight is too far towards the front of the board. This has submerged the nose and lifted the tail out of the water. As the wave reaches the surfer, it lifts the tail of the board, diving the nose further into the water. This results in the board stalling in the water and the surfer falling off. Here are two further examples. On the other hand, too much body weight towards the rear of the board and you're going to stall the board. Notice how the nose has come right out of the water and the tail is deep in the water. This creates lots of resistance when paddling for the wave and inhibits the board's ability to glide across the surface of the wave. In the following clips, notice how the nose of the board is raised right out of the water. Here is an example of correct positioning on the board. With our body weight centered correctly on the board will be in trim on the wave and we should have a successful attempt at catching the wave. Notice in this picture, the nose of the board sat just out of the water and the feet of the surfer positioned right at the tail of the surfboard. The following clips demonstrate correct body positioning on the board, resulting in successful attempts at catching waves. It is also important that your body is positioned centrally down the entire length of the surfboard to maintain balance and paddling efficiency. We will now briefly cover how to get from the prone to the standing position. So with our body positioned correctly on the board, we can now catch waves, but just how do we stand up? Well, it really is quite simple, and the following clips will show you how. From the prone position, we place our hands on the surfboard by our shoulders with our elbows tucked in. We then lift our head and chest off the board with our arms, and after a quick look to either side, we push our feet off the tail of the board and jump into a standing position. Again, we push our chest off the board, we look left, we look right, and we push with our feet off the tail into a standing position. Let's break down the previous clip and focus on the feet. Watch how they are not dragged up the surfboard, but they are lifted into the standing position. Now, with a little bit of practice, we should be able to apply these skills in the water. Safety during a fall or dismount. It's important that the head is protected during a fall or dismount, and we do this by using our arms and hands. One arm comes over the face and grabs the top of the head, whilst the other arm reaches over the head and grabs the opposite ear. The following clips demonstrate good safety during a fall or dismount. So let's recap on what we've learnt. So we've looked at the correct body position whilst paddling on the board, we've looked at getting from prone to standing positions, and we've looked at how to dismount or fall off the board safely. I really hope you've enjoyed my podcast. I'm Pete Hooker, thank you very much for watching.
I could sleep. When I lived alone, is there a ghost in my house? When I